Hey guys, hope everybody's doing well. It has been exactly 1 year and 1 month since my ulnar nerve transposition surgery on my right elbow. My initial plan was to keep you guys updated week to week, month to month, periodically as I went through the recovery process. And I was not able to do that because right around the time I was recovering from surgery, while I still had the cast on even, so pretty shortly thereafter, my, at the time, 6-year-old son started having some pretty extreme psychiatric symptoms, started having a lot of problems. And after several months, we finally got a diagnosis for him that he has a somewhat rare disorder called PANDAS. It's actually a physical illness, but it manifests itself with psychiatric symptoms. Anyways, that's not what this video is about. I am going to make one soon announcing an initiative that my family is about to do to raise research funds for this misunderstood illness. But anyways, because of that rather engulfed my entire house, and I was not able to keep up with this. Very quickly, the right arm had to take a back burner to sick child. But everyone is doing better today, thankfully. Myself, my child, and the whole household. But anyways, the good thing is that things have been so remarkably well that I'm having a hard time remembering exactly the trajectory of recovery. So take that as a good sign. I know that some people may not have had that same experience. I'm very thankful that I did. And so going back, I was in the cast for about 10 days. You saw that in my last video, which was over 1 year ago. When I cut the cast off, I still had to wear I say cut it off. I didn't actually cut it off. They just unwrapped it. It wasn't really a cast. It was, well, anyways, you understand. But I still had to wear a sling and treat the wound, the surgery area for a little bit. The doctor said that around 5 weeks after, I could basically return to my life, and that's pretty much what happened. I wore the sling as needed for a bit. The arm was still kind of tender, especially the surgery site for a little while. I had to be careful with it. But by 1 month out, I started playing again. It had been a month without playing, which, if you're a musician, that's pretty long time. But it felt pretty good. The one area of weakness I noticed is any sort of strength training. I'm not super, into lifting weights and all, but I try to keep in shape a bit. And I noticed a weakness. It took the longest for that to be normal. But playing piano, I teach at a college. We started back, I think, the second week of January. I was able to resume all my normal playing. I played for an opera, prepared a recital, played for lots of other sorts of things. So within 1 to 2 months, life was basically normal again. And after, I would say 3 months, probably, I didn't even notice, I just forgot about it. When I was doing, things like push-ups or picking up anything heavy, I didn't feel like my right arm was weaker than my left arm. Everything was normal. And things honestly have been better than ever. There have always been weird things in my right hand, specifically in my fourth and fifth fingers, certain trill combinations that were a little bit more uncomfortable. It was so slight that I almost never mentioned it. When I was doing my doctoral work, I mentioned it to my teacher, and she said, well, you found something that works for you, so it's fine. So I just never thought anything of it. Without practice, without anything, those things are easier. So it's, what the doctor identified, what I had was a chronic ongoing problem, and even, those things are better now, which is just, I don't know, I want to call back all my teachers and say, hey, remember that time that I couldn't trill? It wasn't really my fault. But anyways, I digress. But I'm preparing a concert, and it's taking place in about a month. I'm playing Beethoven Opus 111, some Shostakovich, some Liszt. I've got lots of collaborative engagements going on. I had a concert in Rome back this past September. Life is, as a playing musician, as a performer, is better physically and psychologically. I feel very comfortable that the doctor was able to correct what was going on. Haven't had any problems since. I'm actually training for a half marathon, which, that's footwork more than handwork, but I feel physically as though there's an element of psychology that I'm not worried anymore. Maybe you get what I'm saying. I probably should have practiced this video a little bit more, but I wanted to give you guys an update before things got busy again as we resume school next week. So if you're a musician or anybody that's suffering from this, I'd be happy to answer any questions. feel free to post them in the comments, and I'll respond as quickly as I can. But my doctor was Dr. Stephen Cronledge. Several of you have asked about that. He's an orthopedic surgeon in Gulf Breeze, Florida, at the Andrews Institute, and he was wonderful. He was a straight shooter and answered all my questions, and it was quick and a pretty easy recovery as far as surgeries go. So hope if you guys have suffered from this, I hope you have a similar experience. And I will say I'm not one to rush into surgery. I mean, as a pianist, that really was a last option. But the way he presented it to me was because we were able, with the nerve study, to identify that it was a problem right here. I guess I should show you guys the scar. Here it is. Here's how it looks today. So I've got a little bit of battle wounds. Maybe you can see. But, you know, hardly notice it anymore. And I'm kind of proud of it. When I see it, it reminds me what I've been through, and that, you know, you can recover from it. But back to what I was saying, surgery is kind of a last option, because if anything goes wrong, you know, even we need our fingers to do more than just open doorknobs. You know, it's our life's work. In many cases, our bread and butter, our income, and our connection to our soul. So I was fearful of that, but he presented it to me in a rather straightforward way. He said, because this condition for you is chronic, if you do nothing, it will get worse. If we do surgery, then all chances indicate that you will make a full recovery. And he said that he had done this procedure so many hundreds, thousands of times that it really was simple on athletes, on musicians, and the like. So anyways, I hope that you guys have a similar experience of a quick and simple and overall painless recovery. And again, I'd be happy to answer any questions. Feel free to check out my other videos. I've posted a few of some recent concerts over the past couple of years, so feel free to check that out. But best of luck to you all. Hope this has been helpful, and feel free to let me know any questions that you may have.